Fighting is a tricky business. Learn some fighting tricks, especially the Superman punch.
Welcome to Action Hound Media, the site and channel all about action. Life's boring. Get some more action into your life. This week, we are going to talk about the Superman punch and other tricks. And when I'm talking about the Superman punch, I'm talking about like getting an incapacitating shot, all right? So we're not talking about just punching or, landing a setup kick or something like that. We're talking about trying to put at your opponent and make sure that they stay down. So you want to throw an incapacitating shot to neutralize your opponent. Otherwise, you're gonna have to throw combos, which we will talk about later. I've had this dummy for over 35 years, believe it or not. And this bag has been hit thousands of times with sticks, kicks, punches, knees, elbows, all sorts of things. I'd even have struck the arm from stick fighting and everything like that. So you can see marks on the arm. And this thing has been so durable that over the 35 years, all I had was this little opening here from the stitching opened up here over 35 years. So this thing is a great piece of equipment. Unfortunately, it was made by I&I and they don't make it anymore. It's going to be hard to find something as good as this. But the advantage of training with this kind of a dummy is that your targeting is way better, right? So if you have like a regular bag like this one over here, you can't really target it. I mean, I put like X's on it to target it, but you can't really get a good feel of like where the head is and where the chin is and where whatever body parts are. And I think that's part of the problem of like when you're training in kickboxing or boxing or any striking martial art, is that you always want to just go for the head. Everybody just wants to go for the head, but there are some very good targets in the body area, okay? So we're gonna go over that now. One target that, people don't really go for is the heart. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little X on the heart here. All right, now the heart is an incapacitating shot. Now if you get a good shot to the heart, you can actually stop the heart, but it is such a good punch that you might be able to stun an opponent with the right heart punch. But the great thing about the heart punch is that if you go a little bit lower, like an inch or two lower from the heart punch, is your solar plexus, all right? A little lower here, all right? So here's two targets you want to go for, right? You got the heart, you got the solar plexus. Another shot that incapacitates people is the liver, all right? The liver is right about here on the right side. So if you watch it off boxing, you'll see guys landing the liver shot and then they go down, right? So here's another target, all right? So we got the liver. Heart, solar plexus, liver. These are great spots to go for when you're working the body. And again, I don't think, like most guys don't fight and really aim for the body, but those are great. There's great spots on the body to hit that you can stop your opponent and neutralize them. Also, when you're punching a bag like this, you don't really have a good feeling of what to hit on the head of your opponent, right? So most guys will throw a punch and they're going to be landing to break a nose or, give somebody a black eye, but those aren't really knockout shots, all right? So what's great about the dummy is, you target the chin, go for the jaw. Instead of going for the eyes and the nose, you go for the jaw, because if you hit the jaw correctly, it pushes the jaw in and then hits a nerve in the back of your jaw that can knock somebody out. So instead of just throwing punches to the head, we should actually be trying to pinpoint the draw. So today we are going to go over a few techniques. I mean, Superman punch is very popular. We're going to go over that, but we're going to go over other techniques that are incapacitating shots that could possibly put your opponent out or give you a better chance to win a fight. One thing you want to do in self-defense is, if you want to end the fight really quick, is a shot to the groin. So a groin kick, or what I call the punt. All right, if you're in a fighting situation and it's the street, it's not competition. And competition, they don't usually let you kick to the nuts. If it's a non-competitive situation and it's for self-defense, the groin is a great target, and a dummy like this is great to practice on. So if I'm fighting like this, I'll be like, I'll keep away, and like I said, I'm a lefty. In a self-defense situation, I always keep my left leg rearward, because that's my power leg, and that's what I want to land a hard shot with, all right? So it's in the back, right? So I'll say like, hey man, calm down, and then boom, when you hit the groin shot, you can either hit it with the top of your foot, right? But I like to use the ball of my foot and the tip of my shoe, so it's gonna really destroy something down there. So for the groin shot, it's just boom. So you can see by that impact that this is a pretty devastating kick. That is a great self-defense technique to immediately stop a fight or put somebody out, right? But again, as a review, is like I was talking about the body shots, you got the hard punch, right? Land the hard punch. If you want to go a little lower, you go for the solar plexus shot, all right? Or now the liver shot is going to be harder to hit. You might want to, set it up with a jab. So I'll throw a short jab in, and then I'll just throw like a hook or a shovel hook to the liver. So those are the body shots that you want to target to incapacitate your opponent, all right? Another trick you could do is what I call the jumping guillotine, all right? So if you take it a little jiu-jitsu, you know what a guillotine is. You get the guy's head in your arm like this, the head in here, and then you just choke somebody out. In a street situation, you could jump into a guillotine and end the fight really quick. So I'm like this, please, I don't want to fight, I don't want to fight. And you just jump. Get them in a guillotine, but then choke them out. All right, in real life, the person's not gonna move as much as that because, this is a dummy and it's hanging, but basically jump, guillotine, put the guy out, all right? And then finally, the Superman punch. I'm just gonna show like the basic Superman punch. I'm a lefty, so again, I have my rear leg, rearward, and I'm gonna first set up the Superman punch, although you could try pulling it off without the setup, but what I like to do is set up the Superman punch. So I'm fighting a guy, and I'll throw a rear leg teep from Muay Thai, rear leg teep, and then instead of landing the third one, I'll jump into the Superman. So it's basically fake the teep, and then spring on this foot, and then throw the punch, all right? So it's kind of like that, and it's called the Superman because you look like Superman when you're landing the punch. That is our basic bunch of incapacitating shots. Now we're going to show you combos to get to land one of those incapacitating shots and the man punch off the front leg.
All right, I just want to add a little bit to what Rob was talking about, all the strikes that he was talking about. I just want to add where, on this situation, combinations. Because sometimes when you do a strike like that, whatever the target might be, they don't just drop many situations. They got adrenaline going, and they're not going to feel pain. So we're going to go with combinations and also add in high-low strikes. You start going high, they start raising their hands up nice and high, then you can go low. You're going low, they drop their hands, you go up high again. So again, everything's situational. In this situation, I don't want to get into a grappling match. So I just want to do some strikes, maybe get out of there. Everything depends on the situation. The other thing is I could also throw punches with a closed fist. If the person moves and I hit the top of his head, you could wind up breaking your hand. So you could either keep your fist closed or you could actually do palm strikes. Okay? Not so much slapping, just an open hand. If I break my hand, what happens? I might not be able to throw another punch for weeks or months in the future because I have a broken hand. Go and follow with strikes, same thing. If it's open hand, I have my jab crosses. It could be to the throat, chin, throat, by hooks. I like to open on the hooks. I find I wind up hurting my hand more when my hand's closed. To the ear, the temple. Again, just a lot of combinations. High, low. Okay? Here's my kicks to the groin. I like to angle out of the way. Always angling. I'll stand in front of my opponent. Come in here. I could punch low, liver shot, sternum, coming back up high, back to the groin, non-stop, barrage of strike. Okay? Now, if I take a step back, if I am squaring off, talking about that Superman punch, I could do that off of either leg and either hand. We like to set up either with a front kick. Again, in the self-defense part of it, it would be more to the groin. My front kick would be lower. Okay? So if I could do it off that lead leg, I throw a kick. As I throw another kick, it could be on your second or third one, it doesn't matter. I want them to get a reaction. It's more like a fake. So as they start to drop the hand stick and that groin kick is coming, as this leg shoots back, I jump in and I punch. Again, I don't stop with one punch. We're gonna do combinations. Rob already showed you the one off his rear leg, right? So it could be off the rear leg or the front leg. So if I'm throwing off with the left leg, I throw the left punch. If I'm faking the right leg, I'm throwing the right punch. My momentum comes in as I strike. I also like to take my head off that center line. Because let's think we're fighting aggressive opponent. They're coming, they're going to be punching also. So I don't want to hop into a punch. I like to take my head right off that center line. My head is here. Bring it off. So as I come in, I come off to the side. So hopefully their strike goes over my head. Off to the side.
Thank you very much, Kev. That was great.
You got it.
Action Hounds Unite.